Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I had the pleasure of being with Andrew on Friday night, and I was presenting the European Green Hotel of the Year Award. And at that event, someone said to us that when you do a presentation like this, you actually do 3 presentations. The first one you do is the one that you've planned and rehearsed. The second one you do is the one you actually deliver. And the third one you do is the one you wish you'd deliver after it's finished. So I'm actually going to shoot for number 1, but bear with me if it doesn't quite go to plan. So this afternoon, really, what I'm looking to do is tell you a little bit about our company, SaveMoneyCutCarbon. We're a fairly new business, exciting partnership starting to happen now with Andrew and the team. I hope you get a feel for what we do, and if you don't, our branding agency's history. And basically, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the background of where we've come from, the research that we did in the hospitality space, and how our business kind of came out of that. I'm going to tell you a little bit about where we fit in the green journey, really. The word green for me is used by so many different people in so many different contexts. So we're very clear about where we kind of fit in that journey. And I want to tell you a little bit about our partnership and how hopefully that will be able to benefit some of you sitting in the room today, whether you run a small business or you're part of a larger group. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're doing, but I'm also going to invite Simon Pearson, who's one of our big customers, Carlson Residor, who's going to tell you what kind of they're doing on a really kind of big scale. So stepping back to Friday night, and maybe I shouldn't say it here, the winner of that event happened to be the Savoy. And the Savoy had the luxury of closing the whole hotel for 2.5 years and had a small £220 million budget to basically make sure their hotel was sustainable and full of the very best processes. Save Money Cut Carbon really was all about retrofit. It was about products, solutions, advice and guidance, things that you could do very, very quickly in a small business or in a big business. So if there's anyone in the room that does have a £200 million budget, do come and see me afterwards, obviously. But equally, if you just have a very, very small budget, maybe a few pounds a month, there's products and things that we've brought together into the business that allows you to make a significant impact on your energy bills, on your water consumption, and on your carbon footprint. And that's really where we've started. So as all small businesses, and many of you will have done this, we started our journey with a piece of research. So we basically went out to a number of hotels, big and small, bed and breakfasts, large hotels, and that's actually where I met Simon, who at that time was the general maintenance chief engineer for the Portman Hotel in London, so 200-bedroom hotel. And I sat in front of Simon and said, Simon, really interested about this. Tell me what your electricity bill is. And he went, £50,000. So I wrote down £50,000 a year. And he went, no, a month. And I'm like, whoa, £50,000 a month. Second biggest OPEX in the business, under staff. Growing at a double-digit growth. Impact of CRC and carbon stuff. Huge thing for that business. And we started to talk about, well, why are we not deploying, actually he was one of the lead hotels, lots of products and solutions to start reduce that. And some really interesting things came out from the research that I just kind of wanted to put up. So this was one that came up. I can walk around, yeah. I don't have the time or the resource. So that was one of the barriers that we saw. This was a good one. I'm not really sure how to work out the ROI and the calculations for my finance team. So often this sat with engineering, who maybe started with a very engineering bias, and suddenly they're working out carbon footprints and paybacks and ROIs and all sorts of things. So that seemed a barrier. We had this one. I don't trust the saving claims from many of the companies that come and see me, and I'm not quite sure whether it's going to deliver what I thought it was going to deliver. There's a few people smiling and laughing in here that have sat in front of that sales rep, I'm sure. Too many suppliers and don't really know where to start. I'm really busy running my hotel. Where do I start? What do I do? This was a great one. I was only appointed the green champion because no one else wanted to do it, and I used to be I'm the cook. So that was another interesting one. I don't know how to fit the product, so how do you fit the product, how do you put it in, and all that sort of stuff. And then the final one, it's I don't want to be the first. And I hope that if one thing you take away from today is that's gone now. There are people doing amazing things, and that final one is really gone away. So what we did as a business was we went out and we took that piece of research, and we did this with big hotels like Simon, but we also did it with bed and breakfast in Ipswich called Lattice Lodge, lots of the whole mix of the hospitality space. And we went out and thought, wouldn't it be really great if we could bring together all of the knowledge and the product, stick it in one place and allow people to access that. So we went out, there's one more, look, my GM and FD are not interested, my finance director and GM aren't interested. That was another interesting one that we saw. We went out and we basically started aggregating all the product together, good quality product. And the way we did that was we took the product and we put it in hotels like Simon, and we said, you test it. You tell us whether that works in your environment. So the bed and breakfast in Ipswich took shower heads and tried them. Simon took all sorts of products and tested and tried them for us. Other hotels did that. And we ended up with a business that basically ended up with 3 sectors. So basically the way we work now is we have an online business, and what we've done is we've aggregated product, as you can see there, like LED lighting, eco shower heads, taps, aerators and other bits and pieces, all in one place. And what we're actually doing, and Simon may progress with this, is we're using basically the leverage of the big projects that we do for Carlson Residor, for Puma Hotels, to give you the benefits of those products and pricings, the things that you might not normally be able to get to in product terms. And we basically started with our name. 82% of all customer journeys start in the Google box. I've banked with Barclays since I was 15, and I still type it in the Google box. You'd think I'd know their website by now. And that's why we're called SaveMoneyCutCarbon, 2 biggest search domains that people were looking for. So we really went that. We came up with a name to start, so the online journey started often with Google. One of the big barriers was I don't know how to work out the savings calculations, so we worked on making sure that we could build those savings calculations for our customers. It was easy for you to go to your boss, to your finance director, to your bank, to yourself if you're paying the bill, and work out what the payback would be. We put lots of tips and advice in about how you could fit it, what you could do, and all those sort of things. We wanted to be key that you could access it via product or sector or service. So if you go back to my cook, he's not going to type in Philips GU10 3000 Kelvin dimmable LED because he's only been doing it for a week. He's more likely to type into the Google box energy saving in hotels. So with the website now, you can come in by sector, you can come in by a field services group. And then we also allow for procurement by purchase order for big organisations, because most of them can't just get their credit card out and put it on expenses or do whatever. They need to do it via a PO system. But smaller businesses want to just do the credit card and do that. So that was our online business. And if you drill down into that, you would look at a typical product here where we've brought together all the range from Hans Grohe, so the EcoSmart water products. Fantastic piece. Lots of people ignore water. I'm a real passionate about water, as you know. I'm just still astounded that in this country we wash our cars and we water our flowers with drinking water. I mean, it's unbelievable if you think about that we do that. In some countries they would just look at you like you do what? Unbelievable. This sort of range is really great technology. We did a project for Puma Hotels, which is quite an open project. It's out there in the press last year, where they did £65,000 worth of these products across their 20 hotels. They've seen £100,000 saving in 8 months on their water bill. Huge. Didn't have to even go on the balance sheet. It wasn't even a capital project. Came straight out of the P&L. Really, really interesting opportunity to save things. This amazing venue here, I'm really terrible. I pop into the gents, I measure the flow rate. All the taps are running at 12 litres, so I've actually changed them down to 3.5. If anyone can tell me which taps I've changed and which ones I haven't, there's a prize. Really, really easy win. So we've done a lot of that. You can see every product has its own little savings calculator, so you can drop in at my hotel, how many have I got, and it will start to calculate those savings for you, so you can really understand where you should prioritise your money and your spend. Similarly with LED, exactly the same thing. So lots of LED lights. We've brought together the very latest Philips range and stuff that at the moment are only available to the Hiltons and the Marriotts and some of the very large hotels. Our field services group is all about stuff we do in the field, so that when we're rolling out hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of LED, this group installs, they go on site, they do measurements and all that sort of stuff. So if you look at some of the things they will do, we developed at a very simple level from a measurement point of view, this very high-tech bag. So everyone needs to take one of these, you put your shower in it, you put your tap in it, you count to 5, and it will tell you what the flow rate is. If your shower's running anything north of 12, buy a shower head. If your taps are running anything north of 5 litres, buy one. You'll get paybacks in weeks. So at a very simple level, this allowed us to go out to hotel groups, Carlson Residor being one, and we measured the flow rates in hundreds and hundreds of bedrooms across 40, 50 hotels in groups. That allowed us to get the data to go to our next piece, which is around modelling. So we can model, we can produce the financial numbers that are required eventually, because all businesses are eventually controlled by the finance director. So you've got to get in front of the finance director and present that ROI and that payment. And our measurement does for quite technical stuff. So EcoTrack's something we developed that allows us to look into any of our properties across the UK in real time and see consumption. But at a more simple level, do take one of these bags off the stand out the back, go measure your water, because measurement is the key place to start when you start your green journey, in our view. Then we came in by sector. So you'll also see in the website that if you type in energy saving in hotels, energy saving in petrol stations, energy saving in restaurants, what we've done from our experience and our work is we've put where you can start. what the savings look like, ideas, products, but it's geared towards other people that have done it in their bed and breakfast, in their big hotels, so on and so forth. So it's throwing ideas out there so people know where to start. And you can start with a £5 tapperator, or you can start with a £1,000 LED street light. It doesn't matter where you start from our point of view. It's just making sure that you think, I'm going to do that, and you're going to move that forward, because every tapperator that gets installed saves that little bit of water. Now I'm going to hand you over to Simon, because I've talked a bit about what we're doing here, but Simon is doing this on a huge scale across 46 hotels, Simon, I think, and he's one of our biggest customers in the UK. We've done some great stuff with him, and I'm going to hand you over now a little bit for Simon to tell you a bit about what he's doing and his experiences.